All right, apparently these guys cannot wait for us to even start the lobby. They're already in game, and let me turn the audio on because you guys certainly want to hear that. Why do these guys have to be so fast? These main guys are so impatient. We're used to the pro teams being late all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We always set that timer a few minutes late because it's like, they'll take their time getting into the back end and getting in the server, but nope. These guys are on point tonight, so what are we here for? We're back on live CEVO TV bringing you the main playoffs, and it's going to be a double header. First off, it's Devestation against Boreal eSports, and it's going to be a best-of-1 on Mirage as a couple of quick kills brings it to a 4-on-4 scenario. And Boreal looking to make a move into the B-bomb site. They got the bomb in tow behind them as they take down Cheeks to get themselves entry into the site. 4-shot, the only one there to contest the plan as he takes some pot shots at one, entering into the kitchen, but loses his life to KTX. That's 2 for him on the round. And another one, that's a third, but Cyborg finally getting the trade out. He's the last one alive, but the bomb is planted for Boreal. Already a successful round for them, and quickly closed out by Jay, who also gets himself a 2K. A nice 3K for KTX, and Boreal picking up the pistol round on T-side Mirage.
Yeah, sweet play overall, getting into the site. They pulled off a fake really easily, getting 2 players into A, and then we had a player running through apps with a knife out, trying to rotate quickly, so they fell for that completely, and it cost them. Yeah,
it was really, I just came down to some nice gun skill for Boreal eSports, as the pistol can and will do sometimes.
Yeah, they had really good aim too.
So we've got KTX just sticking with the luxury pistol, perhaps saving up for an op as the rest of his teammates go for the Galils. Got 4 across the board as Reds actually goes down to that CZ from Sasquatch. Nice trade out by Jay. But the bomb is dropped, so those CZs so powerful on the eco rounds, and the P2000 quite successful as well for 4-shot. So already bringing it to a 2-on-2, and the bomb has been dropped. So this is a great eco round for Devestation here in round 2. Little aggressive for the guy in Romulus. I don't know about that play as Cyborg Greg takes him out with the CZ.
I don't know either. I think they were hoping to maybe catch someone with their nade out in the kitchen and come in quick, but unable to trade out, and Cyborg Greg knocking down 2 by himself. That was huge. I think it might have been much smarter to just play that safely, get the bomb down first of all, because that's money guaranteed, and then think about winning the round, which they would have had an advantage of. But I guess they were a little bit nervous by the fact that they were getting, losing some of those traits to pistols.
Yeah, exactly. A little flustered, I think, a little red in the face after losing engagements that they probably shouldn't have. And I agree. With that 2-on-2 scenario and the 2 players isolated in kitchen, they should have been able to get the bomb at least planted, and that's your consolation prize for losing your anti-eco round. As now that Devestation has guns in their hands, they are doing some serious damage, particularly Cheeks with the 3K there with the M4. The bomb does get planted as he picks up the 4th kill on the round. Will he make it an ace, as Reds is the only one standing up? Cannon Chow going to steal that from him, but at least allowing Cheeks to get the defuse there. Very nice round by him in round 3.
Yeah, Sasquatch struggled a little bit to knock down 1. I'm sure he's mad at himself that he made up for it in the B site, knocking down 4 by himself. So they close that out. Now it's going to be a buyout for both teams. A little bit of misstep there from Boreal cost them 2 rounds. Now they're going to have a chance to get back in it. KTX is going to be opping, no ops out for Devestation, which can be so good on CT. I think we'll see where KTX wants to open up the round with this op.
Yeah, it looks like he is perhaps going to try to get himself a pick in middle, maybe expecting an op from Devestation, but like you said, Launders, they do not have one. Can be so powerful for mid-control here on Mirage. And KTX is just kind of dialed in to the connector spot to see if anyone wants to peek from there. As we switch over to the bomb, which is actually staged up in B apps, where there's only one defender. It's the number 2-man Sasquatch. And it definitely looks like Boreal is going to be making a move onto the B side, as they only have 1 in mid. And the other 4 are in B apps, ready to make a move. The point man is number 7, Romulus. I think he's just trying to get some intel to see if anyone's playing at White Van. But if they make a move quick here and take out the number 2 man, this could be a successful take.
Yeah, KTX has a really good chance to catch a rotator because they don't know he's op in.
Oh, and Cheeks again playing so stalwart on the B site. Sasquatch is actually smoked off, but in the boost spot as he drops one as well. So the passive play by Boreal is not paying off, as Jay is the last man standing for the terrorists. And here in the first gun round, they are brutalized as they only lose one due to CTs. That's Sasquatch.
Yeah, Cheeks being clearly on fire means that B's going to be on lock probably for the rest of this half, I think. Now, they got to look at alternate options. They weren't able to use that up at all, so we're not able to see if that could be part of a better strategy. But ultimately, rushing B just like that, it wasn't working out for them. Might have been better to try to work a pick early instead of just taking it all into apps and hoping to frag out.
Yeah, that's a good point, is now they are forced to save. We'll have to see how they do here, if they have a planned strategy or if they just go for the, get it over with, quickly rush. And it does look like they're kind of spread out, so maybe they have some ideas. They've got a smoke and a flash. Smoke is on Romulus. He drops the bomb to his teammate in mid. As Cheeks dropping a nade right onto the toes of Jay, brings him down to 21 HP. Nice awareness there. As Cheeks is just doing some serious damage to Boreal eSports. Reds is actually able to pick up one from below the window. They've only dropped one and lost two of their own. Make that 4, as Reds is the last one alive. He's stuck in middle below the window with his pistol. And he's executed by Sasquatch. Another pretty successful round by Devestation, but Boreal did drop 2 guns, so not too bad on the eco.
Yeah, no, 4-1, so they are going to start wanting to win a round here, because at a certain point, CT's winning rounds is okay on Mirage, but a lead that's too big can be tough to overcome, especially coming into the second half. Now, another right round, another shot at it, but this time it's going to be Devestation to have an op over Boreal Forest, and it looks like a full A execute from Boreal. I would be hesitant to do another full execute, but maybe their A is going to be a little bit weaker than their B.
Yeah, we won't really see them take a calculated approach at the A site yet. It's pretty much been standard pushes to B, as it looks like they do have some set nades and smokes, and here they come. A little early on the push, but it's looking like they might actually gain entry into the site. Romulus checking all the usual angles as he drops Cannon Chow, who was flashed, and he gets a second on the Cheeks coming storming through the smoke. So a very nice set take onto the A side as KTX picks up one on the rotate in CT spawn. So it's brought down to just Sasquatch. Already Boreal looking a lot more successful going at the A site. And Sasquatch really has no chance on the retake here. He's just going to take some pot shots from Catwalk through Connector and run away to try to save his gun. But Boreal eSports is going to get back on the board here in a gun round. That's definitely what they needed.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to try to do that again. They had obviously amazing success there, like taking 3 out before even losing a player, which is a really good sign for them. Ultimately, going to find Sasquatch here and not able to trade out once. That's a really, really great round overall. The money is still going to be pretty good for Devestation, as you still have Cyborg with 12K on, and his teammates with a couple with AK apiece. Everyone's able to buy for themselves, so that's not going to be too bad for them. Ultimately, all it's going to tell them is that they need to do something different at A. I think there's an interview with Nothing when he was playing A site with Cloud9. I can't remember what team they were facing, but they kept doing full executes, and yeah, they're going right back to it. And he figured out that the way to stop this was to play up close and in their face. Now, this isn't a flash into A apps for him to peek, but they are playing a little bit closer to ramp, a little bit closer on apps, and maybe if they shut down some of the early aggression, then they can cause the rotates to come out with more time, as opposed to letting them all on the site and having the rotates come out later.
Oh, Cyborg Greg doing exactly like you said, Launders, taking advantage of that early aggression, but Jay gets the trade out coming into the site onto Cannon Chow, and the guy, he's able to drop Cyborg Greg back at Firebox as they have Connectors and Jungle smoked off. They're leaving CT open, but Romulus drops Sasquatch with the headshot there as they get the bomb planted. So now it's 4-shot, just Cheeks with this FAMAS in his hand against 3 terrorists and the bomb planted. This is not going to be a very good retake for him as he gets dropped by Jay, and Boreal looking really, really successful going at A right now.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been, that shouldn't have worked out. Now, our player, Clayton Close A Ramp, was in a tough spot where he was more in the smoke than I think it appeared to people who were in front of it. That's just how smokes are these days, but ultimately, I think if he played that a little bit safer, was able to trade out one, they would have almost certainly won the round. Now, the close-up play was working a little bit better. They just needed 2 players to have success for that to work.
Yeah, I think, like you said, they read it right. They just didn't execute on the individual level. combating that take with the aggression. You just couldn't pick up the frags there. Because you saw that Boreal actually, they pushed prior to their nades coming out. It's not like they pre-flashed and then smoked and then rushed. They kind of sent some early guys to cause some disruption and then bring out the smokes and the nades. So they've got that window of opportunity in the first push to get those frags, and they just couldn't do it. As we see Reds picks up the opening frag again for Boreal. And they're definitely favoring the A site now, as they feel like they've got an advantage, a personnel advantage here. And bringing it down to Cheeks, the final man standing. Of course, Devestation on the save, so not surprising that this is a pretty convincing round win for Boreal. But the fact that they've rattled off 3 gun rounds in a row now, I think bodes well for them, given that they're on T side.
Yeah, I think especially for their confidence. They've won 3 rifles. They've done them super convincingly. Actually, it was 2 rifles. That last one was an eco. Now they have a lot of money. They don't have the ability to get take B. You wonder if Devestation are going to switch up player spots because Cheeks is fragging harder than his teammates. Maybe he would switch it up, but typically you want to play the site that you've practiced all week or whatever. So he will be back at B, and it looks like they want to try to take B in this situation because they don't want to be too predictable. The issue is that if they don't have a different strategy, they're going to run into the same problems. Yeah,
that's a great point. You kind of, it's one of those things where you almost psych yourself out. It's like, well, we've gone an A 3 times in a row now. I mean, yeah, it's been successful, but we can't get too predictable. Well, they haven't stopped you yet. And Cheeks is at B. And like you said, he's going to stick with that site because that's where he's been set to play. Is now it's Sasquatch coming up big. Jay finally getting the trade out there as Reds picks up Cheeks with the nade kill. Jay will get the plant off at the B site, so a much more successful take this time around for Boreal at the B site, despite some early frags by Sasquatch. So it's a 3-on-3 scenario, a doable retake for Devestation, but they'll have to come up with some big frags. We watch from the number 3 man Cannon Chow coming from Catwalk. He's dropped by Jay. Cyborg Greg is trying to get into the site. He gets eliminated by Jay again. That's 2 headshots for him. He's up to 3K on the round, and Reds gets the final one. So Boreal 4 rounds in a row to take the lead.
Yeah, not afraid to impose their will, and obviously coming out with results. So they were able to go B that time. Cheeks got taken out with a nade. I don't know where he took the first bit of damage, but wasn't able to do his part in the site. Now Sasquatch was able to get 2, so the same situation is going on at A and B. And now I think it's Boreal that have full confidence. The confidence level is much higher, I think, for them than for Devestation. Whereas I think 3 rounds ago it would have still been on Devestation. So they've got a lot to prove at this point. They're on a save again, and they're on the side where they should be waiting more rounds.
Yeah, the key thing you said there, on the save again. I mean, just 1 round ago they were saving.
Well, the bomb is
actually
dropped.
Sasquatch. Wow, that's a big mistake by Boreal. Sasquatch getting the CZ aggression kill. His Cheeks picks up 1 with his pistol as well. A second one on to Jay. Devestation has looked strong early in this matchup on their ecos. And they brought it down to a 3-on-2 with Reds and the guy, the only one standing. But they have the bomb in their hand, and they have the opportunity to take the A site. But we've got the number 3 man, that's Cannon Chow, rotating through CT. They've spotted him, though.
The guy just needs to plan for a connector, and
I think he feels like Jungle and Connector are a little too vulnerable, and they want to try to take out this CT player before they get that plant. But actually, Reds picks up Cheeks. And now he's going to pull what you asked for, Launders. He's going to plant for Connector. And it's a 2-on-2 scenario, but 4Shot picked up an op. He's actually in CT spawn right now. And Cannon Chow is in the same spot, so not a split take as they'd ideally like. They don't have a kit, so they'll have to work fast. As Reds picks up 1, but 4Shot getting the trade out. He's got to fake it. And Reds just played that perfectly. Gets the 4K on the round, and Boreal eSports is definitely on a roll right now.
Yeah, that was the sick rotate. Cyborg Greg wasn't able to get that kill with the CZ and connector, even though it was kind of handed to him. Now, he did have a pistol, and that's why he got punished, but ultimately that's unfortunate because that would have been the round, I feel like. And yeah, they handled that nicely. Boreal Forest obviously going hard. Reds especially getting a 4K there on the anti-eco, and they made it work after the bomb got dropped, and it seemed like they were going to lose 2v4.
Yeah, it's a really impressive turnaround by Boreal. They started off this half winning the pistol round, and then they lost the anti-eco and the second round. And I believe they actually lost the subsequent initial gun round as well in round 4. But since then, have strung together 4 rounds in a row to take command and control. As Romulus gets the opening kill on the Cannon Chow. And it's looking like they're favoring B again. So Boreal mixing it up. But I think we both can agree that they've had the most success on the B side so far. I think they've basically won every round that they've gone at B. Sasquatch coming up big, as does Cheeks. And some interesting trade-outs. KTX and Jay getting the trades there, but it's brought down to just Romulus, who's got his AK in hand against Cyborg Greg and Cheeks. Oh, he drops one, but can't get the second. Cyborg Greg cleaning it up, and Devestation finally getting back on the board, but just barely.
Yeah, that was a super messy B take. I'm surprised it came to as close as it did, because when they were in apps, it got mollied out. The bomb decided to run through the molly and jump out window. The player behind him decided to smoke that so he could get out without taking damage. The bomb get dropped in sight, and everyone comes out late. It's not a good formula to win the round safely now. And they ended up trading out pretty well, but ultimately that was Devastation's round to lose once the bomb got dropped in sight with no one there to trade out for him. So I don't know if they should have really forced their way into the site. I know they probably called it at the beginning of the round, this is what we're going to do, and we're sticking to it. And that's how they've won rounds in the past. But
yeah, sometimes you got to call an audible. You got to be flexible.
Yeah, exactly.
If the team has read you well for what you're deciding to do that round, you need to adjust. You can't just throw yourself at the brick wall because that's what you committed to. As here's the boost, but Cannon Chow is in great position to hopefully stop that. But 4-shot picking up KTX. And it's looking like Boreal eSports got a little stalled at B as they lose 2 in middle, 1 at the catwalk area, as the final 2 terrorists have to rotate through T-spawn, and they're moving towards the A site. But full advantage for Devestation as they still have 5 alive, but Sasquatch pretty wounded. Unfortunately for Boreal, he's over at the B side, and they've decided to go at A through the palace, and more than likely this will be a difficult take for these 2 guys, as it looks like Devestation is favored 3 over towards the A site.
Yeah, I think Boreal Forest might have trouble finding more rounds if Devestation are able to just properly adapt to full executes that are super easy to telegraph as they throw their smokes and flashes before they come out. And since they're not able to go for the third strategy, which is to work picks and then go for a site, Devestation probably are in favor to win more rounds than they lose from this point on. But we'll see. They're saving 2 guns here. A couple of their teammates will be able to buy. We'll only have 1. Oh, and Jay will be able to drop, so they'll be able to buy next round. But so far, a successful half overall. If they got 1 more round, I think they'd be super happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 6 already. Several rounds to continue and conclude this half. If, like you said, if they get that 7th round and even an 8th, my goodness, they'd be ecstatic at this point. But that's the interesting thing, because given how they started it with winning the pistol, you would expect them to get 3 off the bat, but they didn't do that. So. Yeah. Really, kudos to Boreal for not getting down on themselves after giving up the subsequent, I think, 3 rounds after winning the pistol, and then turning it around to get 6 in a bunch of gun round wins. So now it is all tied up. Heavily important round, especially economically for Boreal, as they are pretty light on cash right now, whereas Devestation is looking a little bit more flush. KTX finally getting that trade on, stealing the op from 4-shot. Who was a little aggressive off that opening kill on Reds in Palace over at the A site. But Boreal definitely favoring that site right now. They've got 3 at the ramp area, 1 in Palace, and 1 playing aggressively for Devestation. That's Cyborg Greg. He picks up the guy at A ramp, giving them the man advantage. And KTX on death's door. There he goes, down to Cyborg Greg, which is basically going to force the hand of Jay and Romulus, but Cyborg Greg again in great position to contest this push. He drops 1, and there's a 4K for Cyborg Greg, making it look easy to give Devestation the lead, and they definitely want to close out this half, not losing any more rounds.
Yeah, I think they're setting, at a point where they can do that. It's Boreal Forest, relying on they have good executions, and that's what they're doing right now. The way Devestation are dealing with that is they're playing closer up. They're going for early picks, which are always working, and Boreal eSports are on a save now, so this might be another round that they should be able to close out pretty easily. They got the smoke down.
Well, and here comes just the YOLO rush up the A ramp. Cyborg Greg gets 1 before being traded out as Cannon Chow drops 2. And if Jay can get the plants off, this could be a decent eco for Boreal eSports. He does pull it off and loses his life to 4-shot. He picks up 2, and he will get the defuse. So Devestation will make it 8-6, but off of that plant, Boreal should have a decent economy to make a stand in this last round and a half.
Yeah, definitely more money than they could ask for. So they'll be able to op if they want to. Don't know if KTX is going to buy one. I suppose we might, yeah. And that might be a good opportunity to try to open up the round with an early pick, though I'm not sure there'll be much window aggression. I'm not sure where Cheeks and 4-shot are opping, so we're going to have an op at B and op at A possibly. Don't know if they're opping mid.
Yeah, let's see where 4-shot's going with that. It looked like he's actually headed to Palace with this op. Meanwhile, KTX, the number 8 man, is heading over to the opposite side of the map into B-App. So no op engagement for us in the final round and a half, unfortunately, Launders.
Wonder if Sasquatch is going to get spotted.
And Sasquatch playing very forward. He's going to actually re-smoke and toss a molly. He suspects that they're heading through B-Apps, that they're staged just beyond that wall of smoke.
Yeah, because they telegraph this by just peeking into A-Apps, and then they know it's not an A execute, because that's what Boreal do.
Yeah, they've definitely done a good job, have Devestation of keying into some of the tendencies of Boreal, as Sasquatch and Cheeks combined for a couple of kills. Over at the B site, Cannon Chow picks up another, and Sasquatch finishes it off. A 9-6 half after a shaky start for Boreal eSports, but pretty much dead even, as you can expect on Mirage.
Yeah. No, yeah, the issue for Boreal is that they lost the last 3 or 4 rounds, and that might, affect them coming into the second half. They had a really successful kind of mid-half, and that could be good for them, but it's ultimately what just happens that's going to affect how you feel about what's going to happen next. Now, they're going to come into this pistol round. If they can win it, they'll be feeling really good. If Devestation can win it, I think they'll be feeling great. Even though they're on T side, it's not going to be hard to put together like 3 to 4 rounds, especially if they don't get anti-ecoed like Boreal did. And yeah, I think Devestation were adapting a little bit better than Boreal was. They were Boreal was trying to rely on these executions that ultimately didn't work in the later half, and they didn't change it up, and they didn't have like a play pick strategy. So once that got exploited or was done being able to be exploited, the rest of the half kind of fell out the window, I guess. And
yeah, they weren't malleable enough. They weren't flexible enough.
Yeah.
To counter when Devestation countered them, essentially.
Yeah, and it could be a viable strategy. Put together as many rounds right now because we're thinking about CT side, and we're gonna kill it on CT side. But you put a lot of stress on the pistol.
You really do when you're playing from behind like this. They can lose the pistol and still come back and win this, but it's a lot more stressful, like you said, to do that.
Yeah.
There's little margin for error in that circumstance. So we'll see. We're waiting for these guys to ready up. Looks like Jay will be the last one to do so. Again, you're watching CEVO TV. Mess and Launders here with you guys tonight. Apologize that we haven't been on the air for the past few nights, but getting down to the nitty-gritty of the playoffs in Season 5. Of course, the Pro Division completely finished right now. We have our Final Four, so to speak, for the CEVO-Main. And we're just trying to conclude the playoffs for Main and IM and Open. Although I don't know if that will actually completely finish up before the CEVO-LAN or not. We'll see. That remains to be seen. But really excited for that. Of course, that comes up at the GXL second weekend of October. There's still slots open for that, if you guys didn't know, for the BYOC, which is Saturday after the CEVO Pro Finals, which will be Friday. And, of course, all those teams, the 4 teams that are coming, Netcode Guides, C9, iBuyPower. Who's the 4th one, Launders? I feel horrible for not remembering this. Denial, right. Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember, because they changed orgs recently. They used to be Lunatic, and now they're Denial. So those 4 teams will also be participating in the BYOC on Saturday. So if you want to try to test your mettle against the top 4 teams in the CEVO Pro Division, come on out to the LAN. It's in Philly. Should be a good time.
Get to meet the pros.
You meet us too, except for Launders. He won't be there. You bastard.
I'll meet you online.
That's right. He'll
I'm
be
land
hanging out
dodger.
in chat.
I'm a land dodger.
Proven land dodger. Here we are, starting the second half between Devestation and Boreal eSports. It's going to be important for Boreal to pick up this pistol round. As we see, it looks like 4 decoys for Boreal as they throw them out. And it looks like Devestation is favoring a mid-take here. Cannon Chow, the point man, coming through the catwalk. On the catwalk, yeah. As he picks up Jay, drops him in the ladder room. So they've already gotten a pseudo-entry kill into the B site, but evening things up as Reds onto Sasquatch. And it just seems like Devestation can't decide where they want to go with the bomb. Maybe they just want to frag this out. Cannon Chow picks up 2 before losing his life to Reds, who has 2 of his own. And a team kill from Romulus drops Reds with the nade. But he makes up for it as he picks up Cannon Chow with that headshot. As the bomb actually gets planted at the A site, bringing it down to the final CT. It's the guy bringing it to a one-on-one. It's him and 4Shot. This is an extremely important round, particularly for Boreal eSports. They need to pick up this defusing. He doesn't have a lot of time to work with, but he does have a kit. He's brought 4Shot down to 4 HP. Oh, the irony. Reloading. Here comes the engagement. He doesn't have time. He's got to get the kill. Does he have time for the defuse? We'll see.
I think he does have it.
Oh, my goodness. At the last second. The guy with the clutch gets the defuse in a huge pistol round win for Boreal eSports in the playoffs. Man, clutch players go big in the playoffs, right, Loners?
That was a That was a really great 1v1. He baited who was he against? It was 4Shot. Yeah, he baited 4Shot into walking around the wrong way, did a ton of damage to him. Almost failed with quick switch, not reloading, having 1 bullet left, and still managed to pull it off. It was really great.
What a round by the guy. Picking up, as I said, a huge pistol round for them as it gives them the monetary advantage here starting the second half, which they really needed playing from behind. They've got a couple FAMASas and an M4 on the guy. Obviously spending some of that money he got from getting some kills. As Jay, the double kill with the MP7. Orange Peel, there's a third on the cheeks at Catwalk. Man, just looking really, really confident in the second half, our Boreal. I'm not sure who the captain is who gave them a pep talk at halftime. Maybe it was the ghost of Vince Lombardi, but these guys are fired up here in the second half. It's a 3-on-2 scenario. We got Cannon Chow and 4Shot. Now just 4Shot with his trusty P250 in his hand. The bomb is actually dropped. So really he's just going to try to drop a gun here if he can. He's got 40 seconds to work with as Reds. He seems to suspect he's there, and he picks up the frag with a little help from Romulus. Boreal eSports down just by 1.
Yeah. Very, very important pistol. Okay, yeah, so they almost pulled that off, and it was close, but they're still able to buy because they were able to get the bomb down in the first round. And at this point, I don't know who's going to win this round. I can't tell you who's going to win it. We've got better equipment value on for Devestation. Boreal coming off a huge pistol round and the last round. It's going to be difficult for me to predict from here, just thinking about who's feeling better, but ultimately 2 FAMASas on the board means that they're at a definite disadvantage, in my opinion. Oh, I think you're muted. And Cyborg Dragon of 1-on-3 isn't able to do it, so they were able to trade out really well. We had that second push up mid and picked off a player who didn't expect someone to be there for trade for our person at top mid. And I don't know if we lost you, Mess, but I definitely can't hear you.
There we go. Yeah, there was a nice yo-yo play there by Jay, and I think it was I want to say Romulus in mid, where he pushed up initially and.
Yeah.
Jay got the initial kill. He backed off. Then I think Romulus engaged. He got killed, and Jay, like you said, they didn't expect him to be there. He pushed back up and got that trade out.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
So it was nicely done there by Devestation, or Boreal eSports, excuse me. As they, oh, the touchdown nade from Jay from way downtown in middle. And that drops the bomb as well. So Cheeks, poor Freddie Mercury, all on his lonesome. But he gets a kill with his pistol, a headshot onto Jay. Brings it to a 1-on-3 scenario against Romulus and KTX. And the guy who was so stellar in the pistol round. It looks like Cheeks might just be in the saving mode right now. You know, not a favorable scenario for him, given that he's down to 25 HP. And it actually looks like he's gonna make a go of it. Whoa, he drops KTX with that shot. Tries to dodge the flash, but he is still blind, and he's in a 1-on-2. Romulus right in front of him. Of course, he's trying to pull a, what was that, a swag. With a fake pistol flash.
Yeah, that's only worked one time in history.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those low percentage plays that everyone goes for, just on the rare chance that it actually works.
Yeah.
And are we seeing a teabag? We are. That's unfortunate.
Might be best friends. You never know.
That's true.
And so that came down to 1-on-2. It was pretty close, even though it was a 1-on-2. Well, these score lines are looking really similar and represent the score line at the top, and that is the round score. Now, KTX is going to have an op on CT. We didn't really get to see him use it on T side. I mean, there wasn't a round where it was 6 out and he goes down. So another chance that he won't. That's going to be one of the last opportunities he's going to have to buy an op for the rest of this game, I feel like.
Yeah, that's one of the rare engagements we've seen between the ops. You know, of course, the second half or the first half, it seemed like they went the opposite direction every time. So we never saw them have that you know, shakedown, that square off in middle that we're used to seeing on Mirage. So this time going in favor of 4-shot.
Reds is playing really close ramp.
There he is, and Cheeks. He's not having nothing of that. As 4-shot picks up a second. Nice set smokes for Devestation as they have complete control of the A site. And no chance for the rotating Boreal eSports, really, as they still have 5 alive. Sasquatch down to 9 HP. Despite the fact that Boreal have 2 kits, Jay and the guy are going to save here and look for a couple of exit kills. Oh, Sasquatch doesn't care that he has 9 HP. He goes on the hunt anyway. Drops Jay with that headshot. So now it's just the guy trying to hang on to his M4, his kit, his CZ, his nade, and his flash. So pretty expensive kit there that he wants to hunt to.
Yeah, they really read that A execute. They were pretty sure about it, and they played close up A ramp. But Reds was playing like right in their face, like not giving them any opportunity to come around a corner and hopefully get one. He just wanted to catch them, you know, totally not expecting them to be standing there. And he was only able to do some damage and not trade. And then once that happened, they ended up trading out the second. I didn't even see how that happened, but it happened so fast that there was really no hope for them to win the round, I think, at that point. Even if, you know, if both your players at your site get killed in the first second of the take, then you're pretty much safing no matter what, because you're not even given time to rotate over to beat the bomb timer.
Yeah, that's a good point, as this is a pretty important round. We're all tied up. And you take a look at the economy, and Boreal very well invested in this round. If they lose it, they will definitely be on the save. As Cyborg Greg picks up KTX in the connector area. It's a 4-on-4, pretty even in the health department, as well as Romulus and Cyborg Greg about even, 41 to 44 respectively. As Romulus picks up 4-shot with his M4, giving them the man advantage. And Reg being aggressive from window, but can't quite get the frag. Has to back off, dodges that nade wisely as the 3 remaining for Devestation are bottled up in middle. This is a precarious position for them to be in. They could get flanked from any position there. Starting to realize that as it looks like they're going to commit to catwalk over to the B site.
Whoa.
Reds is right in front of him! He's able to drop one, but gets traded out as the guy finishing it off with the M4 on the Cannon Chow. Boreal eSports taking the lead again just by 1. What a close game.
Yeah, every round's really close, and they read that cat play though. I mean, pretty much like right away. I think connector was smoked or something, and then they just knew. So they had our player in window rotate out to cat. They flashed from around cat. He ended up trading out 1. It was pretty standard from there on out. But a lot of plays that are happening, it's full executes from both teams, and they're really relying on good executions versus CTs not being able to trade out, or CTs being able to trade out and just stop them completely. I'm not sure if Devestation are going to have a viable opportunity to win the game if that's the case, because it didn't work so well for Boreal eSports, and I feel like the aim is somewhere similar for both teams.
That's a nice observation, as I think it might be worth them throwing in a fake. We haven't seen anybody do that yet, as here comes entry into the A site, and they're a lot slower than were Boreal eSports with their executions on the A site, but it looks like Devestation will get the bomb planted.
Nope.
No, the bomb was dropped. and it's in a precarious position. 4-Shot will pick it up. He's going to go for the plant. He will get it down. It's a 2-on-2 scenario with Jay and the guy still up, both full health, both with kits in their hands. So they've got room to work here. As Jay drops one. Oh, the guy can't get the second, but does enough damage for Jay to finish the job. He'll get the defuse easily, and Boreal eSports will take a 2-round lead going into the 23rd.
I thought I was going to eat my words, at least for that round. After they got into the site and no one was trading at all. I mean, once you have all 5 players in the site, even though you still have 2 players alive as CTs, if they're too far away from everything, they just get smoked out and they got to wait for their teammates. Then it's all of a sudden just a 5-on-5 rotate. But they ended up trading out somehow from their rotator on CT. I think they got 1 from a player at stairs. They dropped the bomb. They made that play out longer, and so they were able to make up for the fact that they weren't able to trade out on players coming right up the ramp or right out of apps. And that was a sick flash, but ooh.
Great flash by Jay, but he didn't take full advantage of it. He only got 1, and so I think he actually had all 3 of the terrorists flash at alt mid there.
Not worth.
But unfortunately, the fact that that was a save gives Cheeks an M4 as Cannon Chow picks up Reds from above, just pops his top from the ladder room. Did not see that one coming, and already on the save, Devestation looking pretty good. They've only picked up one gun though. That's the M4 from Jay on his early push. The bomb is staged outside of B apps, and if they decide to make a push from ladder room through catwalk, they could isolate this sole defender. I think it's the guy. Yeah, he's playing sole defense over at B, but they can't see what we see, so it's looking like Boreal evening things up as they drop 2 in middle. Romulus picks up another one, and Sasquatch with the bomb is actually going to get it planted. No, he doesn't! I spoke too soon. The guy, just keeping a bungee cord on the B-bomb site, didn't rotate too far, allows himself the chance to pick up that frag. Nicely done.
Yeah, well played. I thought Devestation were probably going to win that round. It seemed like they were getting some guns and were able to trade out. They were able to get map mid-control, not really giving up their positions at all, but they just weren't able to get the rest of the trades, and maybe some of that comes down to the fact that they don't have armor. Maybe it came down to the fact that they took a little bit too long, and so they weren't able to keep up the mystery as to where they were. But that's an early pick on the A ramp. Now, you're going to force a rotate over. Does that mean you're going to execute A? Because if so, I would have probably just ran up already. And at this point, it's just as hard to take A right now as anywhere else.
Yeah, and they've already called the rotates have Boreal. I think he's, like you said earlier, Launders, Devestation kind of telegraphing where they want to go, whereas we saw Boreal in the gun rounds, at least in the first half, being much more decisive with their takes. They decided where they wanted to go, and they just went for it. As here's an engagement in underpass. Sasquatch surprisingly coming out on top with the FAMAS there up against the M4, and Cyborg Greg, wow, caught with the bomb and a nade in his hand as Romulus drops 1. Will he get his? No, he gets 2, but not a 3rd. Cheeks finally getting the trade out, and he'll pick up the bomb. As the number 2 man is actually in great position to flank. He does drop the guy. Brings it to a favorable 3-on-1 up against KTX with the op, and he drops 4-Shot with that shot. Very nicely done by him. But this could be a tough round to win if Devestation plays this smart.
There shouldn't be an opportunity for him to win with the op. They just have to not peek. They've got a great crossfire. It's planning for our man in CT, who's there right now. Firebox is going to be too hard to get over to without being spotted. And so, yeah, he's going to be forced to save.
I think that's smart. He's got a lot of money in his hands right now with that op and the kit and the armor. You know, this is, like you said, a low percentage round. You know, not really a lot of chance for him to pick that up.
Yeah, you can wait around, you know, hope the other team makes a mistake, and that's what people do. You know, you give it a few seconds, someone peeks for no reason just because they're frag hungry, then if you hit that shot, it's maybe a free round. A 1-on-1 is completely different from a 2v1, but after that point, you know, you're just definitely trying to save that gun. Op's very expensive and can change the course of the game, so even though his teammates aren't able to buy it, I don't know if he'll drop anything, but his op is still going to make a difference if you can keep it alive. If you keep it
looks like he
himself
might
alive.
have dropped some luxury pistols and that's it. But yeah, like you said, Launders, you know, especially in a save round, very important that he holds on to that equipment to see if he can make an impact with it. You know, 1 shot, 1 kill. I mean,
no damage.
Crazier things have happened. So we see Devestation with 4 AKs and an M4, down by 2. This game has absolutely been neck and neck in both halves. The onus is on Devestation to make something happen as Romulus gets a little too greedy, pushing down A ramp with his pistol. It's dropped by Sasquatch. And there's a second frag for the terrorist going to Cyborg Greg, and a third for Cannon Chow. And everybody's joining the party. As they brought it down to just KTX, they'll get the plant easily at the A site. KTX, again, trying to hang on to that op, but he's kind of in a precarious position here. They know where he's at. Ooh, the no-scope on a Sasquatch. He'd be wise to just run and save, and it looks like he's going to do exactly what he did last round and head down to the underpass, but Cannon Chow in great position in mid. The mid-air headshot as he drops from the window. That's a nice job by Devestation to not allow them to save that weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing a great job, and that was a smart play there, just waiting, making sure, or trying to get Boreal eSports a little bit antsy, not making any noise at all, having them push A ramp, let them look for information and then punish them for it, and to just get you that much closer to winning a round that you should win. And now Boreal Sports need to step it up a notch, because they should be able to win a round, but if Devestation are able to take advantage of them playing picks, then and that mid smoke failed. Oh, they got another one to back it up.
Yeah, but it does look like 4-Shot is pushed below window through the underpass. I'm thinking it's a split A, but I'm not sure. They've got one guy slowly pushing through B apps. That's the number 3 man. I think, yeah, Cannon Chow.
They typically have been following the frags. They get an opening pick. We saw on the pistol, right? They were running around wherever they got a frag, they would go and Sasquatch.
Huge entry by Sasquatch into the A side as he picks up 2, but then loses his life to J, as it looks like Devestation has full control of mid, and they're going to isolate the sole defender over at B. It's the guy with his FAMAS.
They know where he is.
Let's see what he can do with that pulse. They line up for him, but Cannon Chow is too fast for him. Drops him with the headshot. They'll get the bomb planted, so it's now up to J and Romulus to try and get the retake. They both have kits, so they have a little bit of time to work with, but they're up against 4 terrorists here. One of them extremely wounded. This is going to be a tough retake. We're going to have to see some heroics if they can pull this off. Cannon Chow gets dropped by Jay, and 4-Shot cleans it up onto Romulus. All tied up here, 13-13. This game is just a nail-biter, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Now, they had... a lot of that had to do with the fact that Sasquatch was able to walk out apps and then shoot an opper in the head that was, sitting in jungle. I think he was like watching the window boost or something, and that might have been because they aren't taking cat control. Now, if you have a player watching that, then you could have him doing his job watching apps, which would have been a lot more valuable, I feel like, and he would have got that kill and not let Sasquatch trade out 2 for free, which had never happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that touchdown nade into a window from Cyborg Greg just breaks the ankles of KTX. It's a huge frag on the save round for Boreal eSports. The fact that they are on the save, they want to pick up any frags they can, dent the economy of Devestation, which has started to bank a little bit as they've got 4 players, over 5K, 3 of them over 6K. The guy's in good position. He picks up 4-Shot. Can't get cheeks, though. As the bomb is planted at the B-bomb site. And obviously, with just pistols, we'll see Boreal go for it just to see if they can get some free frags. Some careless kills. It's going to be up to Reds and the guy.
They're all hurt.
Oh, no. We get a 2K from the guy, and Reds just couldn't quite finish off Cheeks or Cannon Chow.
Wow.
Cyborg Greg, the only one with full health there. Devestation retakes the lead.
Yeah, guy almost killed everyone in that site, but wasn't able to close them out, and that means that they're going to have all that value to, let's just say, for the rest of the, they're going to be able to buy for the rest of this game, Devestation. And so Boreal Forest, on probably their last opportunity to win the game, have to win with the equipment that they have. Otherwise, I think they're pretty much screwed.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a look at their economy, they'll be bankrupt if they don't win this round. They really will. And they can't afford to really give this round up because, essentially, if they have no money for the final round, they really are screwed because you look at Devestation, who has all kinds of money. Even if Boreal does win this round, Devestation will still be able to buy in the next round.
Ooh.
As look at the aggression from Reds. Nicely done as he picks up the frag onto 4-Shot. So good start by Boreal. But it looks like they are going to try to take advantage of an open B bomb site. As Boreal got a little aggressive, but Reds, the fast rotate, picks up another from the B-Apps window. They brought it down to just 2 terrorists. It's Cyborg Greg and Kenichow. Now just Cyborg Greg with the bomb. They've got 5 alive, and they keep everyone alive and win the round.
Yeah,
ideal scenario for Boreal.
Yeah, they took a huge risk having Reds push the apps there. It was a great read. He ended up getting a frag for free, taking no damage. They smoked off the apps. He had total apps control. Then they got the information that the players were out mid, running up cat, just like we saw in the first half, where they read it. Read them like a book, and as they ran up apps, they had our player rotate from window to the kitchen, flash out, knew exactly what was about to happen, had Reds trade out, and they had a crossfire going where it just didn't give Devestation any opportunities to get a frag. So they just held that off perfectly.
Absolutely. As we bring into the 29th round of this best of 1 in the playoffs. And couldn't be more exciting, to be honest, as it's knotted up 14-14. Huge implications on this round, as both teams playing extremely passively. But it looks like Devestation wants to make a push onto the A spot. But look at Boreal reading this just perfectly, as they've already rotated to A. They pre-mollied the stairs to slow down the push, but Cheeks getting that entry kill on the Romulus like a boss. Goodness gracious, that's a huge frag to get into the site, and they've smoked off most of the important areas. But look at Jay peeking over. He gets 2 before he loses his life to Sasquatch, and the bomb has been dropped. Devestation basically in just chaos mode now is just brought down to Kenichow. He's up against Reds, and the guy don't have to be a fragging fury here as he picks up Reds. 1-on-1. He's got the bomb. He's got time. I was going to say he kind of, well, if he had made a move sooner, he had time to go to B, and just too indecisive, the guy, chasing him down and dropping him from behind. Boreal eSports up by 1.
Damn, he tried to abuse the tension there and just hope that he was going to fast rotate over to B, and to which he would just walk back to A. It would have still made it really precarious, the fact that he would have to plant with the opportunity for, the guy to have just read that and not move from CT at all. Decided to make that play, though, which I think was the more risky one, ended up not paying off. The guy just shooting him in the head, and the key thing there was that they weren't able to get any... After they threw their smokes out, and then they had A-ramp mollied off, their smokes wore out by the time they got on the site. And then we had CT getting kills, we had stairs getting kills, and that's why that went wrong. Now, they're split up a little bit more. I have no idea what their plan is right now, but they do have an opening pick. Oh, 2 opening picks. And I'm not sure.
Shot. I mean, he's coming up big. That's 2 big picks to start out this round when they really need it most to go into overtime. Backs against the wall. But look at this.
Playing B. They're just hoping it's A.
And they're guessing right, because look at Devestation. They're all staged up to go into the A site as they pick off the frag onto Romulus, but they're smoked off. They're going to have to work fast. But they realize there's only 2 in front of them. The guy picks up... Oh, goodness gracious. We're going into overtime, folks.
Wow. Honestly, did not see that happening. That's wild.
I think it's appropriate for this game. When you say, I mean, just how close it's been, how back and forth both halves have been, why shouldn't we see some overtime?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are, evenly matched. I think they play similar strategies, and I feel like they read each other based on that. And the fact that they can all aim means that the one-on-ones go both ways, and that results in a similar scoreline frag-wise, a similar scoreline round-wise. And now we're in OT, naturally. Yeah,
absolutely. And we'll see if it'll be concluded in this first overtime. Best of 6, tied up at 15-15. Boreal eSports against Devestation. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Mess with Launders tonight. We got a doubleheader for you guys. Hopefully this one concludes in time for us to get into the next one before it starts. Or maybe they'll wait for us. We'll see. As with all the money they have in overtime, we see ops on both sides. One in the hand of 4Shot, one for KTX. And definitely looks like Devestation wants to make a move at the B site, with Cheeks just making some noise at A ramp. And And interesting enough, we've seen the number 9 man Reds push all the way up to top mid.
Yeah, they like mid control.
As it looks like Sasquatch is in underpass. He has a chance to flank him. There it is. Oh, good. He had a chance to drop Reds as he does some serious damage onto Cannon Chow. They've got him isolated as finally Greg... Oh, goodness, the flank by Romulus picks off Cyborg Greg and Cannon Chow before they know what hit him. Great communication by Boreal eSports to key into the fact that Devestation was playing slowly and kind of staging themselves at the top of mid. Really allowed Boreal to get some easy flanking kills there as B-side is completely open if Devestation clues into this fact.
Oh! No scoped them coming into the window, and that's going to force them to go into B. But they're ready, I think. Oh, planning for Cat there.
Jay is in great position to contest that plant. And no, he has to reload. It's a 2-on-1 scenario. 4Shot has the bomb. Just can't survive the nade from KTX, and Boreal picks up the first round of overtime.
Yeah, that was a close round. No, that flank should have worked out perfectly. We had the Opper not in position, jumping into the window, ended up getting a no-scope. No, it's lucky for him it was close range because he definitely shouldn't have got that trade, I feel like, as we had a player working on the flank. And that's what they're waiting for, get the flank, get the kitchen control, and then have him walk into the site, hopefully shoot someone in the back, and then get the bomb planted with no one dying, putting in a 3v1. They weren't able to do that, and then they were forced to jump in the B. Now that's what they were waiting for because we had Boreal eSports with a player sitting there, and they planted for Cat for some reason, even though they weren't up on Cat. So I'm not sure why they did that. They could have certainly got the bomb down if they planted for apps. I think you're muted again.
I think at that point you need to go for the safe play, like you said, Loners. Get the plant off easily. You know, they certainly had the opportunity to do so, but they went for the ambitious plant, trying to plant for Cat when they didn't really know where the other CTs were. So obviously they paid for that with losing the round, as now we see them playing very pensively. But Sasquatch picking up KTX coming out from underpass. And it looks like they're going to make a move into middle as they smoke off Catwalk. And I'm guessing they're favoring the A site, but they've got a rotator. Boreal eSports coming through CT spawn over towards the A site. The bomb is in connectors. Romulus picks up Cannon Chow at the A ramp, and the bomb is dropped. Romulus in great position to pick up Cheeks, but Sasquatch for the trade out. He's going to be able to pick up the bomb. It's a 2-on-2 scenario. Jay with the flash and the frag.
Oh, 4Shot versus the guy once again.
Really, just neck and neck these rounds have been. Oh, unfortunately, 4Shot punished for missing that op shot, and the guy doesn't lose any damage, winning the round for Boreal, up 17-15.
Damn, I wonder if that was one of those situations where you're checking a spot that you really don't expect someone to be, and so you fall asleep when you see someone standing there like, whoa, you're actually there, and just that's how some of those easier frags can be missed with the op, but unfortunately for him, he had the right read, just wasn't awake at the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, 4Shot, you know, playing pretty well, but just couldn't quite hit that clutch shot there to pick up the round, which they really needed to even things up. As you know, obviously Boreal being on CT side here in overtime, they want to clean up. They want to sweep here and get 3 in a row, and really put the onus on Devestation. And here comes the execute on the A side. Cheeks getting the entry kill onto Romulus. But Jay gets the trade out in a second on the 4Shot. There's a third down to Sasquatch as Cyborg Greg gets finally the trade out. And look at KTX boosting himself onto the top of ticket booth to bring it to a 3-on-1. And Cyborg Greg doesn't last long. The guy picks up the frag, and they do sweep Boreal eSports on CT side.
Yeah, huge round that round by AJ, getting 3. After, you know, Romulus has been really great this game, but Cheeks has been entering like crazy. I think he's gotten like over 80% of his entry kills, and on his sales been doing a great job too. So Jay picking up 3 there was enormous, and now Devestation are within one of losing. Was this their first match, or was the other team who have played 2 2 playoff matches already, or 1 each?
I think this one is the round of 16. Let me double check. I will look at the bracket. Yeah, this is the round of 16. So this is the first playoff match for both of these teams.
Okay, yeah.
The winner of this match will face off against Team Dark Horse in the round of 8. So obviously, both these guys wanting to start off on the right foot here in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, starting the second half of overtime. Devestation against Boreal eSports. Boreal picking up 3 rounds in a row on CT side. Devestation will have to be perfect to force a second overtime. Otherwise, it's going to be Boreal's match win, and they will advance to the round of 8. And it looks like Boreal is favoring the A side here. They've only got 1 over at B. It's Reds. Actually, he's not even at B. He's in Underpass. So they are definitely favoring the A-bomb side right now. They've got 1 in Palace, 1 staged up at the top of A-ramp with the bomb just a little bit in T-spawn. And it's looking like Devestation might be keying into the fact that Boreal wants to make a move onto the A side, as they're already calling for the rotate and stacking towards A.
Oh, Cheeks had him.
Good guess by Cheeks, but Red's getting the better of that engagement. Here comes the execute onto the A side. There's the flashes. Cyborg Greg can't fight through the flash as Boreal, the guy, drops him. But Cannon Chow's in good position to pick up Reds on the flank in the underpass. They've got the bomb planted at the A site, and 4-shot is about to go down to the pistol. Willie, the guy can't connect, finally does with the headshot. As now Sasquatch and Cannon Chow are trying to move into the site. It's just up to the guy to hold off this plant. He can't do so. They both have kits, so it'll be easy to fuse for Sasquatch. Devestation winning when they needed to. Remember, if they give up 1 round, it's all over.
Damn. I thought they were going to lose that round.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, they got into the site. They got that opening trade. I think when they had the right read on it was going to be an A execute with 1 going underpass. So we had Cheeks jumping on Reds in underpass, and he didn't manage to trade out. And then after that, they got in the site pretty easily. 4-shot got a couple kills there. I think 4-shot and Cannon Chow both got 2 each, and just closed that out in the 2v2. Well played.
Very well played, as, again, Devestation needs to win out here in the second half of the first overtime to force OT2. Boreal being perfect on CT side for them. And again, Boreal heading towards A. And this time, they've only got 1 there due Devestation. It's Cyborg Greg, as it looks like ooh, just that calculated push, getting the piercing headshot on the KTX. And he drops a smoke onto the A ramp to force them back. As it looks like a much stronger round here for Devestation to start out in the second round of the second half of overtime.
Wow.
As the guy, wow, Cyborg Greg, why did you feel the need to push through the smoke there? And a self-flash from Boreal eSports. He certainly didn't mean to do that, but the A side is open for the taking if they can get in there. It's open for business. No smoke in CT spawn, and 4-shot makes him pay for it as he drops Jay with that op shot. Sasquatch, he's able to pick up Reds over in connector.
Oh, we got 1 A ramp.
Romulus and the guy have no health left. They can't get the bomb planted, as there you go, Devestation picking up their second round on CT side of overtime 1. 1 away from their second overtime. They pick up this round, we'll see OT2. If not, Boreal eSports will win the match.
I feel like there's an equal opportunity for both teams to win the round. Devestation barely pulled out that first round with some clutch play in that 2v2, and in that last round, we're able to pick them apart a little bit better. Cybergrub got a little bit too aggressive, I think, but he didn't need to, but ultimately worked out for them regardless. Now we have 5 rifles versus 5 rifles and an op, so maybe a little bit of advantage to Devestation, but we haven't seen ops be completely crucial in terms of winning rounds on either side. So I wouldn't necessarily give the advantage to them for that reason.
Yeah, that's a good point. We haven't really seen the ops just win rounds for either team yet so far in this match. As, hugely important round for Devestation. They need this to force double overtime, or Boreal will win the match, as the opening frag goes to Romulus. Can't get the second. Cannon Chow gets the trade out. But Cheeks is in good position to contest the push through B-apps. As Sasquatch picks up 1 with the nade frag. And look at him in great position to pick up Reds, who didn't even see that one coming, but the guy on the trade out. It's down to a 1-on-3. And unless the guy can pull off a clutch here, we'll be going into double overtime. Well, there's one. Brings it to a 1-on-2. He's got about 30 seconds to work with. The bomb is down.
Wonder if
really
they're
precarious position for him to be in.
I was going to say, I wonder if they feel they need to rotate, but because they can't see the bomb. But
seems like they've had good communication on the location. Oh, the game picks up Cannon Chow! Oh,
wow.
But Cheeks! Oh, Cheeks, you saved the day for Devestation. We're going into double overtime, folks.
Wow. How fitting. They're going blow for blow. That time it was just T-side. You know, I guess they're just learning to play the advantages against each other a lot better, and since they're so evenly matched, that would just make the CT side more favorable for both teams. Seeing no T rounds won in that first OT there. So
yeah, I mean, at this point, with the economic advantage that you get from overtime, T rounds are going to be hard to come by. You really have to manufacture a win because you know that your team is going to have an equal, or your opponent is going to have an equal value equipment set. Essentially, you know, they can counter whatever you're going to throw at them. So
and they've just
really have to be calculating about it.
Yeah, they just played 18 rounds against you. So
on this map, so they are warmed up.
You're running out of tricks, right? At that point.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, unless these guys have seriously deep playbooks where they do have that super secret strat that they don't pull out until situations like this, they've probably seen everything you've got. So really tough to manufacture rounds on T side on this map.
Look at this 4A.
Yeah, exactly. 4A already stacked. It's like Devestation. Just it's almost like they're on TeamSpeak with Boreal. They know what they're doing. This is crazy, though. I mean, double OT in playoffs, Devestation, Boreal eSports. First round of the playoffs for both of these teams. So, like we said, a lot on the line as 4Shot picks up the opening frag onto KTX. So, the op battle going in favor of Devestation to start this round. Big round to kick off OT as Cyborg Greg picks up 2 with his M4. It's up to Jay and the guy to make something happen as the guy picks up 1, bringing it to a 3-on-2, but Sasquatch doing serious damage from Catwalk. Brings it down to just the guy, but he's got the bomb in his hand.
Ooh. 4Shot versus the guy again.
If he goes to B, it's wide open, but of course he doesn't have X-ray like we do, and 4Shot is going to... He's second-guessing. Look at him. He's rotated to B.
He thinks
he's going B.
He wanted to hear.
Oh, wait a minute. He's switching out guns.
Okay, so the guy knows what he's doing. He let him run away, though. But this pretty much evens him out. The issue is that the guy doesn't have health.
4Shot knows it's A, though. Giving himself a chance, but he has no kit, and he gets the... Oh, my gosh! Huge, huge frag by 4Shot. He worked it quickly because he knew he didn't have a kit, and he'll get the defuse easily. And like we said... You got to win those CT rounds because the T rounds are so hard to come by.
Yeah, if they had won that T round, I think it would have been really, really bad for Devestation. As the fact that there was no T rounds won in the first OT, I don't see that pattern getting any less weak coming into the future rounds, unless the Ts just do something different. But we really don't see that. It's just been CT dominant so far. Now. That was really close, and that's the first one we won that I think 4Shot has pulled off against the guy. Even though I feel like the guy actually read him better in that clutch. No, he ran away through CT, but then we saw the guy plant and then know exactly where he was going to rotate from. So I feel like he heard the steps, knew what 4Shot was going to try to do, and
I think it was a little too aggressive, though. I mean, I think in that situation, I guess the fact that he maybe knew where he was coming from, perhaps you do peak in that scenario, but in general. You know, I feel like you should have made him come to him, you know.
Yeah.
Play the favorable position. He had the bomb planted. You know, make him go for that defuse.
He was going to have to engage at some point, like 30 health, and he got the peek out. He even got the first bullets off, but then wasn't able to do 100 damage. So.
Yeah, just didn't land his shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20. That's for sure. Here we go, entry into the A site. As it looks like Boreal eSports, I'm not really sure with these smokes. It looks like they're trying to smoke off connector, but they keep leaving CT spawn open, which means they have to get that frag. But KTX does pick it up on a 4-shot. He's going to clear connector and get the bomb planted. It's a 3-on-2 scenario. Not favorable for the T's, as they are aggressive. KTX gets dropped by Cheeks, and Ken and Chow picking up the final terrorist. They'll get to defuse again. So the CT's perfect thus far in overtime.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you start to lose a lot of patience. I mean, at this point, it's a lot of rounds played. You're kind of out of, strats. You don't really want to play out entire rounds, right? You're trying to end them fairly early. You feel like no matter what you do, it's like you guys are best friends at this point. You know how the other person's going to respond, and so if it's going to come down to shooting, it's kind of like at the end of 1.6, everyone just played spawns because everything had been done at that point, and since you knew what everyone was going to do, you're going to play your only advantage, and that's playing your spawns. And so for them, it's full executes, and they're going to try to do that, but it's going to be hard for them to play out full rounds playing picks, even though that might be their best opportunity to win. If they're just going to get picked apart.
Speaking of picked apart, Cheeks picks up that first frag on the T's pushing through Catwalk. There's all kinds of damage dealt to the B defenders as they've got entry into the B bomb site cleanly, as Reds picks up the rotator 4-shot, bringing it down to just Cannon Chow. And this might be the terrorist round we've been waiting for, the terrorist round win that might break this match open. Because like we've said, the CTs have been perfect thus far in overtime. But no, Cannon Chow picks up Jay and gets shot from behind by Romulus. Very nice split by Boreal eSports to pick up that round. And if they can be perfect, they can win this match.
Yeah, could be crucial. Could be crucial that round. Now, so one thing that we've seen probably the least amount of times, and that's because the 2 times I think that we saw it being played out, one by each team, it was when they ended up having to go cat because they lost an opening pick, and when they did that, they basically just got shut down by crossfire from Apps and Kitchen. But they made it work that time, and that could be crucial.
So here we go, starting the second half of Overtime 2 between Devestation and Boreal eSports. This is both of these teams' first playoff match here in CEVO-Main Season 5. And these guys are fighting tooth and nail. They obviously want this first win. They want to stay in the upper bracket. They don't want to have to fight through the lower bracket. And look at that opening frag by 4-shot. Huge pick on a KTX, who is actually the opper for Boreal, as Jay is forced to swap out guns to pick up that op that was dropped by KTX. So nice start by Devestation. So maybe they can match Boreal and pick up a T round of their own, Wanders.
Yeah. That would be the way to do it.
At this point, really the onus is on Devestation to do just that. Because like we said, both teams have been perfect, save for that one round on CT side here in overtime. And that's really what it comes down to, is who's going to break it out and win one round on T side, which may be all it takes.
And they got this molly out, which is going to exhaust the smokes, which was really key that one round. And they're in a similar situation where they didn't lose, or they didn't win. Oh, but Cyborg Egress's pick. And CT's not there to trade.
Good smokes this time for CT, as Devestation will get the bomb planted in front of Firebox. And it looks like Devestation may match what Boreal eSports was able to do and pick up a T round, but no! There it is. 4-shot, picking up the 2K, the final frag onto the guy, a piercing shot. And I don't know, this might be the end of the game. Devestation at match point.
Wow. Yeah, man, that was really I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Boreal are able to pull one out, but Devestation are starting to get the edge. I think they're fragging a little bit better at this point. We had that player Romulus at A ramp through his clutch molly that ended up putting off enough time to exhaust the smokes, but they really didn't have anyone to trade out for him when he died, and that was a big issue. Then and we had who was jumped off Apps. So Cyborg Greg jumped off Apps and just got a free pick on a trade he probably wasn't supposed to win. Oh, 4-shot hitting a really clean shot there.
Quick frags across the board, bringing it to a 4-on-3 scenario in favor of the terrorist Devestation. Romulus is wounded, brought to 62, but he's still aggressive as he drops Cannon Chow with that headshot from his M4. Evening things up at a 3-on-3. Big play by him.
Yeah, this has got to be a lot of confusion. It's going to be a little bit less worrisome for the CTs, I feel like, with this heavy connector presence, knowing that there's a lot of players at mid. But Oh, he didn't see Sasquatch just walk right there in a connector. I wonder how they're going to play this.
Yeah, this 3-on-3 scenario with the bomb in their hand. And now a 3-on-2. Big frag by the terrorists. But Jay actually getting the trade out to even things up. And a 2-on-2, and the guy, he's got a chance to bring it to a 2-on-1. Oh no, Cheeks too strong with his AK. There you go, Devestation winning the match 22-19 in double overtime.
Wow.
What an exciting close matchup between these two main teams in playoffs. So Boreal eSports will move to the lower bracket. Devestation will move on.